I played the Homecoming mission, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was playing the Warlock, obviously. There was one thing that was missing. I don't know if you can chat about it, but the Warlock's got no self-raise now. Now that the solar class is now a awesome sword reading thing.
Yes.
Yeah. How's that going to impact player strategy in like PvE activities?
I think it will, as you said, make the Warlock a little bit more engaged in combat.
Yes.
The Warlock has, as you said, an awesome attack now. It'll make the Warlock a fighting class. When that super becomes ready, it will commit the Warlock to battle. We want every player of Destiny to be a warrior. We want them to have those hero moments. And we found that the Sunsinger provoked the Warlocks to hold on to their super, to save it, and use it almost as a power-up. And rather than saving that extra life in your back pocket, you can draw that sword and you can have that power fantasy. So it will certainly change the way people approach PvE. It will require them to be a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more strategic, but that's what player versus environment is all about. That's where the collaboration and the communication and the teamwork that makes taking down a strike boss or clearing a raid so important.
Yes, yes. And also talk to me about the RPG elements of the game, where I know Destiny's taking a more RPG approach with stats, and I feel like you can build a character more than before. Every piece of equipment adds this, and every weapon adds this. How deep is the RPG mechanics in Destiny 2?
I think Destiny does have some similar themes with a role-playing game. First and foremost, we see it as an action shooter. We see it as a game where we commit players to explosive moments of action and adventure. Character customization is a huge part of the player experience. Creating that unique character, upgrading it, making it more powerful over time will absolutely be predominant themes that will follow you from Destiny 1 into Destiny 2. But we want a player's memory from Destiny to be the awesome moments that they shared with other players, whether they were people from their friends list or people that they met serendipitously in a public event. And once the action is over and the smoke is cleared and they take a break from that destination and find themselves in orbit again, they'll have these rewards that they can use to make themselves more unique or more powerful.
Okay, cool. Talk to me about the public hubs now. We know there's one on Earth in a new section on the planet. Yes. Will we look? Are there going to be more on different planets? Are there going to be like these social areas on each planet that meet me in like Mars and be there? Can we look forward to that?
The farm is the social hub, similar to the tower in Destiny 1. The opening act in Destiny 2, we see the tower come under attack to pretty much be devastated. So as the players of the game limp out into the wild frontier to find new ways to fight and to rebuild their characters so that they can launch that counterattack, they are going to find the farm, which will support that function of the game, where players can enjoy a place where they can come together and they can acquire the things that will make them more powerful, or even enjoy a soccer match. There are other places in the game where you will encounter characters who will also equip you with your walking orders. They'll expose you to new adventures or secrets that you can explore in these destinations. They'll be the ones that are giving you some of the rewards that will help you along your way. But in terms of a strictly social place where none of the combat elements are in play or available, the farm will be the social focus, the social hub. Sort of thing. Yeah, almost tower negative 0.5. We're taking the players and we are disrupting and destroying the civilization that they've been sworn to protect, and sending them back out into the wild where they will discover new human civilian allies that are not guardians, that can show them new ways to fight, that can show them different ways to confront our enemies that don't necessarily involve channeling the light as a weapon. Yes. And then from that standpoint, the Guardians can then explore how they can recover their powers and how they can become powerful in new ways that will enable them to reunite the survivors of this attack, consolidate the power of the Guardians again, and then go to face Dominus Gall and the Red Legion to reclaim the things that we are sworn to protect.
Okay, sounds cool. Last one, I wanted to chat to you about the public, the new matchmaking system where you can now search for groups, the group finder.
Guided games.
Yes, guided games.
Guided games.
So what is the aim for that? Are you hoping that people find a group and like they cling onto that and they become friends and that becomes like their clan? Is that the idea of it?
It's entirely possible that guided games could result in new membership for the clans that open themselves up to use that feature. This could also be something that certain clans use on a one-off basis now and then when they aren't able to muster 6 guardians to go and play that raid. It will be used by many different types of players for different purposes and different moments. There are times when clans will use guided games just because it's a rush for them to be there when a solo player clears a raid for the first time, and they would love to introduce new members of the community to that experience. Some clans may use it to meet new people to see if they can add to their ranks, but there are a lot of solo players that I expect will be on the other side of that equation who use guided games so that they can play raids and enjoy raids without having to join a clan, because that's just not their preference. That's not the way they play games. I'm looking forward to all the stories that come out of that feature. I'm looking forward to, as we always do, learning from the community about the true nature of how that feature is used and figuring out where we want to take it in the future.
Okay. Do you see it as more a matchmaking solution to not being able to complete a raid because you don't have a clan, and not being able to complete a raid because you don't have one more person? I mean, what were the challenges? How would you overcome a challenge of, we need 2 more people, we find 2 more people with guided games, and now they're not good enough to complete a raid?
I definitely see guided games as a more precise manner of bringing players together than matchmaking. I think guided games is a very different thing from matchmaking. The term matchmaking, in our minds, conjures up images of sort of colliding total strangers in an atom smasher and hoping for the best. That works for a Crucible match that tends to average out as being less than 10 minutes in length. But when you consider a raid, which is a very challenging activity that requires communication and teamwork that could last for hours, you need a baseline of teamwork. You need a certain guarantee that the majority of the people on that team can anticipate each other's fighting styles, can complement each other's movements, can communicate, can collaborate, and engage in some shared problem solving. Clans that are on their game and know how to beat that raid would be able to add 1, maybe 2 more members to the mix and carry them through to victory, assuming there was some spoken commitment to work together and to see the activity through to the very end. And that's where the pregame lobby of guided games enables that to happen, where a single player can access the guided games directory and meet different clans that they could embark on that adventure with. There's a moment to talk, there's a moment for introductions, there's an opportunity to create some expectations for how this is going to go. We're going to tell you how to beat these encounters. Listen to us, work with us, and we will see you through. So guided games is an opportunity within the game to create something that is similar to the LFG experience that we've seen on different websites.
The shield generator should be straight ahead.
Your journey ends here.
Pre-order and get beta early access.